Hey everyone, my name is Michael and I am the Brooks brother, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining today. If you are a regular here, you'll probably note that my background looks a little bit different. I usually would just have a plain white background, but today's video is a little bit different, so I just want to change up the background. Instead of something just plain white, this is actually just my workstation behind me. But yeah, it's a little bit different because today's video is going to be a little bit different. I'm actually going to be not doing any makeup, which is odd for my channel, and for me to come on the scene, full beat, and not actually show you anything is kind of weird for me. But I actually wanted to talk about some products that I have used and finished this year, specifically skincare products, because I don't talk a lot about skincare, and yeah, I think this should be an interesting video. If you enjoy beauty content, mostly makeup, getting into skincare, maybe gonna get a little bit into some other stuff too, please stick around. I'd love if you give me a thumbs up, subscribe, that'd be cool, and leave a comment down below, let me know that you're watching, and yeah. Without any further ado, I'm just gonna jump right into the video, so I hope you stick around. This may be a chatty video. Alright, so, I don't often talk about skincare online, and it's for a couple of reasons. I don't feel that confident in like my knowledge of skincare, and I feel like so many skincare resources and skincare brands are very chemically driven at the moment, and I don't feel that confident in my knowledge to like help educate people. I don't want to say the wrong thing and be misinformed. I'm not a trained esthetician, I'm just a makeup artist. I know of certain ingredients that I feel benefit my skin, but I'm still learning, and I feel like every time I actually post anything around skincare, I get loads of people just kind of, and I appreciate it because it's how I learn, but I get a lot of corrections or like, don't do this, or don't do this, or why would you do it like this, or this isn't that good for your skin, and da-da-da-da. And it makes me a bit scared. I kind of just want to stick to the stuff that I know, and that's makeup. But that being said, being anyone in the beauty space online, skincare brands do want to work together. And so over the course of 2020, I've actually received a ton of skincare, and I've actually worked my way through a really good chunk of it. So I thought this would be a good way for me to just share my thoughts on stuff that I've used and actually finished, how I felt it benefited my skin. There's some stuff in here I didn't actually really even care for. And then the other thing is, I feel like when you're a part of the online beauty space, I don't want to say community because it's not really a community. When you're a part of that, people take what you say or recommend, and I don't blame people for this, but if I get on camera and say, oh, I really like something, or I really like what it's done for me, your audience or people that really trust you will just kind of take what you say as gospel and be like, well, if it works for him, it's gotta work for me. If it works for them, or they have amazing skin, it's gonna make my skin look like that. And I get really apprehensive that someone's gonna take what I've said about liking something and try it, and I don't know, I'm scared they might not like it, or it might, you know, have a negative effect on their skin, or they might not be able to identify the differences between their skin and mine. So I'm just super conscious of like people spending money on things because of who they heard it from, not because it might actually work for them. That's a weirdly worded thing to say, but it's kind of what I'm getting at. I get scared about recommending things and it not actually being the right thing for someone at all. As I said, I'm not a trained skincare therapist, esthetician, anything like that. I only do makeup, but I use a lot of skincare, so if you want to know what I use, I'll show you. And I'll share my thoughts on what I have used and what I'm still using, and I hope you learned something from it. I should also probably clarify what my skin type is. If anybody watching this is curious, you can actually figure out like things that we may have in common, and then, you know, make your judgments accordingly. I have oily combination skin, and it's acne prone. Difficulties with my skin are I have enlarged pores, I have an uneven skin tone, lots of redness, and I'm super prone to dark spots when things leave a mark or scar, really clogged pores. And because I grow a beard as well, I'm super prone to ingrown hairs and just irritations on my skin. I guess in that sense you could say that I have a sensitive skin type as well. To wrap that up, I would say I have an oily skin type, acne prone, sensitive, and uneven skin tone. I've also broken everything up into different categories, so I'm just gonna kind of go by how you would apply skincare. Yeah, so that means first up we are talking about cleansers. First things first is actually a cleansing balm. So I class this as more of like a remover. It is technically a cleanser. The Wishful Clean Genie Cleansing Balm. So I cleaned this out. So a cleansing balm, if you've never used one, this is the first cleansing balm I actually ever used. I fell in love with this. I'm not sure how all cleansing balms are, but it was quite soft. So it wasn't like a super hard, waxy feeling like where you really had to dig to get the product in there. You could actually just kind of scoop some out with your finger, and it had quite a nice emollient kind of consistency, and it literally melted everything off. So if you've never used something like a cleansing balm before, it's a solid version of like an oil. So you just grab some and it's like a butter. You grab some with your finger, you actually massage it into dry skin, and oil breaks down makeup completely. Really, really nice to melt all makeup off of the skin without irritating it. If you go in with something like a makeup removing wipe, it's a lot of rubbing, and sometimes those rough surfaces rubbing on your skin can irritate it, and a makeup wipe doesn't actually get that much makeup off of your skin. It gets a certain amount off and onto the wipe, but you kind of just are rubbing makeup remnants around your face. This, you're actually massaging into the skin, breaking down the makeup, and then you wash it off. I would actually rate this fully, we're getting off to a good start, a 10 out of 10. This is a really, really good cleansing balm. But the scent isn't too strong. It's quite gentle on the skin. Even for someone that has oily skin, it really, really works well. I always thought cleansing balms were not for oily skin. I thought it was more for like a drier skinned person, and it would be ideal for that. But this on my skin was amazing. 10 out of 10. I would fully purchase this. This was gifted to me. Actually, I think most of the things I'm going to talk about today were gifted to me. So yeah, just putting that out there. As for ingredients in here, it says right on the package, it's green tea extract, malachite, and cherry blossom. This lasted me, oh my gosh, probably 3 months, and I used a lot at a time. I don't know if that's like a good amount of time or not, but I wear makeup pretty regularly, but since we've been in lockdown, like not as much as normal, this just gets everything off and I love it. Next is a foaming cleanser, and it's CeraVe SA cleanser. And this is a little bit different in different countries. I'm not quite sure why, but if you are watching from the UK, this probably isn't what the packaging would look like here. And I think it's called SA Renewing Cleanser in the UK. I don't know why. This is probably my favorite cleanser I've ever used. Like, this is an amazing cleanser for my skin type. This is not a high-end product. Not super cheap either, but definitely worth the money. I think CeraVe is meant to be quite like a accessible skincare brand that it's developed with dermatologists. So it's like skincare with like a more medical sort of perspective, if that makes sense. Anyway, to get into the product itself, SA Cleanser, SA is salicylic acid, and I bought this because I struggle with texture and bumps and breakouts, being acne prone and oilier skin, and salicylic acid is a great way to chemically exfoliate the skin, and a chemical exfoliator is going to help smooth out bumps. It's going to help get rid of dead skin when it comes to like ingrown hairs and hairs getting trapped underneath the surface of dead skin. This is going to help exfoliate that. This is basically just an exfoliating face wash, but there's no beads. There's nothing in it that is going to rough up the surface of your skin. It's not like a mechanical exfoliator. It's fragrance free and it's good for all skin types. I also find this to be like quite gentle for something that's like a daily exfoliating face wash. Sometimes I use this twice a day, but for something like that, it's quite gentle. It didn't ever irritate my skin. It's foaming. I like a foaming cleanser. I actually prefer a foaming cleanser, and it has quite like a good frothy foam to it, so it really gets sudsy and it really feels like it's like cleaning everything away. So that cleansing balm I talked about, and then this after, so step 1, step 2, so good. So good. Again, I would say 10 out of 10. This is probably my favorite cleanser. There's nothing I would change about this. And I have been through 2 full bottles of this. I highly recommend. And at that price, you can't really go wrong either. Another cleanser from Paula's Choice. This is the Perfectly Balanced Foaming Cleanser. It's marketed for normal to oily / combination skin. This is like a non-irritating, gentle foaming cleanser, and this is not an exfoliating product whatsoever. And I have fully finished this as well. This lasted me quite a while too. I want to say like around 3 months, maybe more. I mean, this is a ginormous bottle, 334 milliliters. Full size, it now says is 190 mils, and it's 22 pounds. So this is expensive. And Paula's Choice, just as a brand as a whole, is like mid to higher end skincare, I would say. This has great ingredients in it, like hyaluronic acid in it. This is meant to be like a gentle cleanser that removes oil, breaks down makeup, and isn't hard on the skin, and it protects the skin's barrier. I think that's why there's hyaluronic acid in it. Sometimes with this, I found that I needed to wash my face twice. I love a double cleanse, especially when I have makeup on. Like the first cleanse is to remove, second is to actually cleanse my skin. I found that even when I didn't have makeup on, sometimes I didn't feel like it was like clean enough. So I would do this twice over sometimes. I think from using some exfoliating skincare, I missed that element when I went to this from the CeraVe. It never irritated my skin. It was hydrating. It did effectively remove everything. I would give this an 8.5 out of 10. This was a good cleanser though, and this lasted me a long time. Part of why I'm knocking a point off is some of Paula's Choice stuff I do feel like is, I'm gonna say, a bit overpriced. They make some products that I'll talk about later that are worth absolutely every bit of them, and there's nothing else like them. But things like this, like a cleanser, removes everything, but it's still gentle and has good ingredients in it, you can actually just get it cheaper from other brands. You don't have to spend that much money on it, but I get as a brand overall, they are on the more high end, and I respect that. So that's just my personal thoughts. If you ever wanted something that is like still gonna remove everything, but is ultra gentle and still hydrating on your skin, you can't go wrong with this. So the next one is from Good Molecules. It is the Rosewater Daily Cleansing Gel. I don't know where you can get this in the UK or if you can, but yeah, it is all available online. So if you're in the UK shopping for it, you would probably just have to order from an American partner of theirs. This is marketed as a gentle cleanser to balance and brighten the skin. I actually just finished this today, and I've had this for maybe 2 months. And personally didn't really care for this. I don't feel like it was for my skin type or my skin needs. I do need a gentle cleanse because my skin is sensitive, but it's the same thing. This was foaming, and it was gentle, but I just need something that actually makes my skin feel a little bit cleaner, and I felt like if I went a few days without using an exfoliating foaming cleanser, I had a lot of buildup, really clogged pores, especially like in my nose area. Especially when I'm shaving all the time, I need to focus on regularly exfoliating. My face wash is a really great way to just like easily incorporate that, and it's still gentle. I would rate this like a 5 out of 10 for me, because I finished it because I started it and I hate wasting stuff, but I just didn't really feel like it did much for me at all. Something I have to note about this, and it's the most unique thing of most of this stuff, this is sold in a glass component. So this packaging is glass. This is way more eco-friendly than any plastic manufacturing is. So they have to get like huge points for making something at an accessible price point that also comes in green packaging. Like, glass packaging is way more sustainable, obviously, than the making of plastic, even if it's recycled. Glass is way better for the environment. So that's something that takes extra effort from a brand to do. It can cost brands more money to do that, but it's more ethical. And I really get behind that. So even though the product wasn't like for my skin, it didn't really do anything remarkable. It's still a face cleanser, and it was gentle and was fine. Obviously, you can get really expensive skincare brands that make their stuff in all glass packaging, but they're typically quite a bit more expensive than $12 for a face wash. So I think that's cool, and for that, I'm gonna give them an extra 2 points. So I'm gonna give this one a 7 out of 10. So this is the last cleanser, and this is one that I'm currently using, but not on my face. Well, sometimes on my face, but not really. And this is La Roche-Posay Effaclar, and it's micro peeling purifying gel for persistent imperfections. So this is for face and body. I use this as a body wash. Just to give you a little bit of backstory, I guess. Not only am I acne prone on my face, I've mentioned this online before, but have had struggles with like body acne and like uneven skin tone and scarring all over my body forever. I was looking through Twitter a few months ago and I saw someone talking about the CeraVe has a body wash that's in the SA cleanser range, an exfoliating body wash basically, and it's good for oily skin or acne prone skin or bumps and texture and that kind of stuff. And you can't get that cleanser. Well, you can get it some places online, but you have to like go through like weird sellers and stuff, and like I didn't want to do that. Well, I just started looking and I went to like Cult Beauty, Look Fantastic, just to try and see like what else was on the market. And this came up and it had really good reviews. A lot of people just use this as their face wash. This is specifically formulated to be safe for use on your body and your face. But this I found to be like super helpful with fading dark marks, managing breakouts. I haven't really had any body breakouts since I've been using this. I like literally love this. I usually have body breakouts like very regularly, but this has completely managed that. Even if you don't have acne on your body, but you have really rough skin, I read a lot of people that have keratosis pilaris. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Quite bumpy skin. A lot of people that struggle with that look for products that you can use on your body that have salicylic acid in it. Not only is there salicylic acid in it though, there's also an LHA in here. Just in general, if you're looking for something that maybe you could use on your face and your body. I know a lot of guys out there like to use the same thing on their face and their body. That's fine. This is perfect for that. This will really help to smooth out the texture of skin, like I said, lighten up dark marks, or at least it has for me, and manage any breakouts that you might have. Ingrown hairs, it's really useful for body acne, keratosis pilaris. This is a really, really great product and something I just kind of stumbled on by accident that I love. As long as I keep making this, I plan to keep using it. So this is excellent. I'm being super generous here, but I would rate this a 10 out of 10. This is like my favorite cleanser I've stumbled upon this year. So next category I'm going into is treatments, just because it's kind of broad. This is anything that would go kind of between cleansing and moisturizing. I know that's very broad. The first thing I want to talk about is Paula's Choice Liquid Exfoliator. This is a 2% BHA liquid exfoliant with salicylic acid. On the bottle it says, use once or twice daily, apply over face and neck with a cotton pad, do not rinse for daytime, always follow up with a sunscreen. This is kind of like one of those things that a lot of skincare people on the internet talk about, and I didn't always believe the hype. And then I tried it, and this is my third bottle of it. This is so good. With chemical exfoliating, you don't want to overdo it because you can damage your skin's natural moisture barrier. So this is something I try to be careful with because I do use a lot of cleansers that have exfoliators in them. I have to be purposeful with why I use it. I wouldn't use this all at once or else I'd have no moisture barrier left on my skin. And this lasts a while. It's a liquid and you just kind of put some of it on a cotton round and gently exfoliate your skin before you moisturize and SPF. And this is like one of those like 5-star products for me because it does exactly what it says it's gonna do. It makes your skin super glowy because you're literally wiping away dead skin, but there's no like beads in it or anything that is harsh that's gonna irritate the surface of your skin. I find that this is also excellent for unclogging pores. Something like this really helps to just get everything out of my pores. I love this. I would rate this a 10 out of 10. I wouldn't buy it again if I didn't love it as much as I do. Kindly, the first 2 times I used it, I was gifted it. 3rd time I bought it. Yeah, Paula's Choice. Thank you. This is amazing and I will never look back from this. Next thing here is a treatment from Good Molecules. This is called Discoloration Correcting Serum. I wasn't a fan. I'm just gonna keep it simple. I finished it again because I try to finish things that I start. I mean, that behind me is skincare that I'm working on right now, so it's a task that gets bigger every day. This I was gifted probably close to a year ago. I didn't really feel like it did what it said it was gonna do. It says it's formulated to promote an even skin tone. The ingredient in here that is meant to even out your skin tone is called, how do I say it? Tranexamic acid and niacinamide. Tranexamic acid is, I think, the exfoliator. I think that when I mention discoloration in my skin, what I think of is like dark scars that I have and redness and like, you know, the broken capillaries around my nose and stuff like that, that I want to see more evened out. I just didn't find this specific product that effective in achieving that. Maybe it's just not the one for me. It felt really nice on my skin, and I think that that's because of the niacinamide ingredient in there. I like the way niacinamide sits on my skin and I like how it makes my skin feel. I like how it makes my pores feel. It just didn't do anything for me. I feel kind of bad saying that, but if I'm gonna sit down and talk about stuff that I've used over the course of a year, there's gonna be stuff in there that I didn't really like, and unfortunately this was one of them. So this was like a 2 out of 10 for me. Thank you for gifting this, but it wasn't the one for me. So next product in the treatment category is niacinamide. And this I discovered maybe earlier fall last year, and a friend actually told me about niacinamide and I was like, what? the hell is that? Couldn't even say it. But he told me that for my skin type, like, it would probably be something that I'd really like. And over a year later, I'm quite religious about using niacinamide in my skincare routine. So these are two different ones from two different brands, but they're virtually the same. They're both 10% niacinamide. They are a little bit different, I guess. The ingredients are a little bit different. So just to keep going off of Good Molecules, because that's where we were, that's the first one I'll talk about here. Just to talk about niacinamide for a second here. It's like a part of the vitamin B family, I think. Some brands say it's like niacinamide, vitamin B3, and I think that's what's in this. Overall, niacinamide is beneficial for people that have issues with their pores, just in general. Sorry, that's such an odd thing to say. My friend at the time that I was talking to about it, I mentioned that like my pores are so clogged and they're very visible on my nose and my cheeks, and like I really don't like it. And he was like, oh, you should try niacinamide because it's specifically for targeting pores and helping reduce the size and clear them out and all that kind of stuff. That's why I've stuck to niacinamide, because I actually find that when I don't use it, I notice my pores more and I notice clogging more. So I really like that. I finished this really quickly. It's just something nice to add to your skincare before you do your moisturizer as a treatment and minimize breakouts as well. So just to keep it simple, I think that it really did that. I've been really hating on Good Molecules this whole time, and I actually really like them as a brand. Isn't it? Yeah. I'll give this a 10 out of 10. I finished it, I really liked it, it did the job. Thank you. And then this next one is from The Ordinary, and this is pretty much the same thing, but the difference, there's two differences actually. This one's a little bit bigger. This is like their supersize one, so it's double the size. So this is 60 ml, whereas this is 30. And I use this so much that I may as well just get a larger size. The main difference is that this also has a 1% zinc component in its formulation. I believe that adding zinc to a formula like this is just furthering to help minimize blemishes and breakouts. And between the two of these, because I live in the UK, The Ordinary is more accessible to me, whereas this I would have to order online. So I've been sticking to this one, and I've gone through, oh my gosh, 2 or 3 bottles of this as well. I feel like my skincare routine wouldn't be the same without niacinamide, so I literally always use it. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this, and I would also give this a 10 out of 10. This is a great product that I swear by. The next one in the treatment category is from Paula's Choice. This is the 10% azelaic acid booster. I think that's how you pronounce it, azelaic. This I think falls into like the exfoliating, I guess, category. This has azelaic acid and then also has licorice and salicylic acid to fade dark spots. I think that's the primary function of azelaic acid. So yeah, it says fades brown spots, reduces blemish marks, and calms the skin. So being someone with acne-prone, oily skin that's sensitive and lots of marking and discoloration, this is so good. Like, this is so good. This was gifted to me as well. Close to a year ago, I would say. I used this and I loved it. Wouldn't use all at the same time with all these exfoliating things. If I did all these exfoliating things at once, I would have literally no skin left. This is another great alternative for an exfoliator if your concerns are more about like dark spots and scarring and redness. Something I would use at night and something before SPF. And it is a treatment, so it's just like a little bit and you don't have to use it all the time. Reason that I didn't repurchase this is because it retails for 38 pounds. And it's great and it's worth the money if that is within your means, but for me it wasn't within my means when it came to replenishing it. I didn't repurchase it, but if you have a specific issue with your skin and it falls into something that this could treat, I would recommend it. It also comes in a small size, I think, for around like 6 to 8 pounds, I think. I really, really like this. I would give this a 9 out of 10. I have to knock a point because the price, because I just feel, again, like we could trim it down a little bit, guys. Maybe that's asking too much, but that's my honest opinion. Performance-wise, so good. This is the last thing in the treatment category, and this is from Glow Recipe. This was gifted to me from Cult Beauty, and this is the Pineapple C Bright Serum, which is a brightening and smoothing serum. I did finish this as well. More on the expensive side. Smells really nice. It's meant to like give your skin a glow. Vitamin C is obviously meant to brighten and smooth out the skin. That's, I think, the primary claims of vitamin C in a skincare product. I don't really believe in it. I'm just gonna come out and say it, and I think that's probably obvious. This is 30 mils. For the price, it's almost 50 pounds. It's not cheap, and I didn't feel like it was super effective. What I did like is that it made my skin feel super hydrated and really smooth. I like the texture and the smell. When you're paying close to 50 pounds or dollars for a serum that is meant to brighten and smooth your skin, I feel like it should be a little bit more effective than what that was. I just didn't feel like it was super effective. I don't know. Didn't find it made my skin look any smoother. I didn't really find that it helped to even out my skin. But I finished it and it was fine. It didn't hurt my skin. It didn't irritate me, nothing like that. And I think that maybe it's because the vitamin C concentrate isn't super high in it. And I've heard a couple people say that. I don't know, it wasn't for me, but I know that Glow Recipe is like a super trendy brand. They make stuff that like, it looks really nice and cute. It smells good, it feels good, and it's all like very fruity and like fresh, and the colors are nice. And there's other stuff that I've used for like brightening and evening out my skin tone that I felt was more effective than this. So this wasn't for me. I didn't like it. This is gonna get a 2 out of 10. It is what it is. Didn't really like it, but it's done. So now moving into the moisturizer category, and this could end up being a huge category, so I'm gonna actually try and keep it small. That's what I use the most of is moisturizers. I have like 7 on the go right now, and so I'm finishing them all the time. So I try to be selective with like things I finish that I have something to say about. That being said, first things first, a moisturizer from Paula's Choice, and it's called Youth Extending Daily Hydrating Fluid with Broad Spectrum SPF 50. And this is for normal to oily / combo skin. This is a great moisturizer. I'm just gonna come out and say it straight away. This is awesome, I love it. What I really liked about this was it's lightweight and it has an SPF in it. Like a credible SPF, not just like a dinky like SPF 20. Like it's an SPF 50. So in terms of like helping to protect your skin when you're chemical exfoliating, this is like legit. And if you use enough of it, this can be your full-on sun protection. It didn't feel like an SPF. It didn't make me feel or look greasy. 0 white cast in it whatsoever. But what I liked the most is that I felt like it really actually hydrated my skin, and it felt like nothing was there. You know how some like watery feeling moisturizers, like they actually absorb fully and then your skin actually feels borderline dry? This wasn't like that. It still felt supple and hydrated, but protected and not like weighed down. I really like this. I would give this a 10 out of 10. I think that this is worth the money for a nice moisturizer with an SPF 50 in it, but I would definitely repurchase this. Love this, would definitely recommend. Definitely does the job. The next one in the moisturizer category is from Good Molecules, and this is the silicone-free priming moisturizer. This I finished right down to the bottom as well. I loved this. This was really, really good. This lasted me, it's hard to actually say how long things have lasted me because I used so many different things at once. This lasted a while. In the description it says, smooth, hydrate, and prep your skin for makeup with silicone-free priming moisturizer from Good Molecules. It has macadamia seed oil, shea butter, and a naturally derived silicone alternative. It's lightweight, moisturizing, and protecting. The reason why I like this is because it was just like a very no-brainer moisturizer. I knew that I always had to put SPF over it, but I also knew that it was lightweight enough that it wouldn't make my skin look super shiny. Enough of like a silicone-y sort of slip to it that it filled in my pores so it made them look smooth. It gave like a nice radiance and bounce to the skin without being greasy. But also I could use it in place of a primer and it was the same thing, like it just worked. This was really good. Price point is also really nice from Good Molecules. Like I said, $14. You get lots of product in here, so it's 50 mils. It does what it says it's gonna do, and for that I have to big up Good Molecules because I've been kind of hard on them throughout this video. I would give this a 10 out of 10. This is a good product, does what it says it's gonna do. I enjoyed every single time that I used it. So next one, actually and last in my moisturizer category, the Milk Makeup Vegan Milk Moisturizer. This is 48 mils in a jar. Oops. I finished this way faster than I thought I would. I really, really love this moisturizer. Not to jump the gun or anything, but this is really good. I would class this as a rich moisturizer. Yeah, for someone with oily skin, I would say this is borderline too rich for me to use in the daytime, but it's very soothing, super hydrating, literally makes my skin so glowy. That's what I loved about it. I was more likely to use this at night as an evening moisturizer. It just kind of like really nourishes your skin overnight. It like felt beautiful. On the Milk website, it says clean, fragrance-free formula, softens and soothes, antioxidant protection, desert milk, fig milk, oat milk, argan milk. Desert milk in there is made up of a couple different like plant derivatives. Overall, I just really liked it because it's like a really rich, soothing, satisfying moisturizer to use. It just made my skin feel healthy, super radiant, super nourished, and super moisturized. I really like things that just do what they say they're gonna do, and this is that. I'm gonna give this one a 10 out of 10 as well. So my next and final category is body. I know I already kind of did with cleanser, but these are more like body lotions. The first one is from Paula's Choice. The name of this has changed, but this is called Weightless Body Treatment 2% BHA. It's now changed the name to 2% BHA Body Spot Exfoliant. It's quite big. This is 210 mils because it's a body lotion. This was gifted to me, but I have repurchased it. You can probably see in the background right here. I use this all the time. I love it. This is for a specific thing that I struggle with, like marks and scars and acne on my body. This kind of falls in line with an exfoliating body wash. So this has a BHA in it, which is a liquid exfoliant, and salicylic acid. It helps to smooth out your skin, manage breakouts, and fade dark marks on the skin. I really, really like it, and I feel like this is perfect. This is a fantastic product, and I think that if you struggle with any body acne or scarring or texture problems on the skin on your body and you're willing to spend that kind of money on a body lotion, this is very much so worth it. On me, it did exactly what it says it's gonna do. It didn't clear up my skin overnight, but it's something that helps to manage breakouts and scars and texture. So yeah, I really, really like this. I'm gonna give it a 9.5 out of 10. I love this product. I hate the price, but it's great. It does exactly what it says it's gonna do. As long as they keep making it, I'm gonna keep repurchasing it. This is Dream Cream Body Lotion from Lush. And this is, I think, my favorite body lotion. Just for everyday moisturizing. It's not an overpowering fragrance, and it's not something that I apply for the smell. It's super hydrating, but it's very lightweight. Moisturizes straight away, is good for any dry patches on my skin. When I'm exfoliating with body wash and with exfoliating lotion, I need something to put the moisture back into my skin and protect it, and this is ideal for it, in my opinion, because it's not super fragranced. It is very hydrating, but it's not super heavy. So having like oily, acne-prone skin, I don't want like something super rich just like in the daytime. If I could change anything about it, I might actually dim the fragrance down even a little bit more. Lush is obviously known for making vegan and cruelty-free products in eco-friendly packaging, so those are major pluses for me with Lush. And then the other thing, if I could, I would probably change it to a pump applicator instead of a jar. I prefer with moisturizers that they're in a pump form rather than something I scoop, especially for my body because I'm like hairy. I get hairs on my hands and I don't want to get hair in the lotion. It's just like, no, I hate that. For like a sustainable packaging, a pump is more plastic for them to recycle and manufacture. This is all recyclable though. So yeah, great product. I wish it came in a pump form, and I understand why it doesn't. And maybe a little bit less smell, I'd give this a 9.5 out of 10. But overall, this is my favorite lotion, and I will buy this, and I will continue to buy this. It works. It's great. That wraps everything up. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching a video that was a bit different for me. Just like, you know, going over some things that I used this year that I liked most of it, but some of it I didn't. I just wanted to basically come on here and talk about things that I've used, things that I was gifted, things that I've purchased, things that I've repurchased that I felt have been really effective for me, and give them a rating accordingly. I saved all these empty containers just because I wanted to do this, and I'm really glad that I did. I hope that you learned some things maybe, or maybe gained some insight about products that you've been curious about, or even that you maybe just enjoyed listening to me talk about things that I've used and my thoughts on them. If you like this video, or this kind of video that's not a tutorial, let me know. What you choose to spend your money on is your choice. Just because it hasn't worked for me in certain instances doesn't mean it won't work for you. So I'd be curious to hear your thoughts, as always. And if you have any questions about anything that I talked about, please hit me up. I will do my best to get back to all your questions. But yeah, overall, overall, 2020 was a year of me trying a whole lot of skincare, and these were some of the highlights. I'm just super fortunate that I'm able to try so many products. Sorry it took me so long to share my thoughts on most of them, but I did. And that's the important part. Next year is the new year and I'm gonna do things a little bit differently. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Please give me a thumbs up and follow me on Instagram if you're not already. I hope that you guys all take care, you stay safe, you stay healthy, take care of yourselves. And until my next video, I will see you soon.